welcome everyone. Wishing you all Merry Christmas as you're joining with us for the third episode of the Kelisara Cofee with Teens. So today we will be discussing about the LPL and the future of Sri Lanka cricket. So as usual, let's welcome Litra Perera and Rintu Perera who would be joining with us to proceed this chat. So the first question is, how will LPL Season 2 bring confidence to upcoming and young stars? What do you think?
Well, I think LPL has always been a huge platform for young Sri Lankan cricketers to showcase their abilities, and I think this season stands out from the previous because we have seen Giant Liyanage, Tharindra Ratnayaka and many other young Sri Lankan cricketers keeping a mark in the season. So that's in one hand is good for the future of the Sri Lankan cricket, and as well as it can boost the confidence of the players as well.
So, Revindu Ayya, now Lithira said that it will boost the confidence of the young and upcoming players. What do you think, Revindu? What will happen?
Well, to be very honest, yes, it will definitely boost confidence and also it will bring experience to new young and upcoming players. Because we have many players coming from outside of Sri Lanka. We have many overseas players playing, especially Shoaib Malik. With so much of experience, his experience to young players in Sri Lanka, the foreign experience is really valuable. And also, not just about the young players we can talk about the seniors. We saw Dinesh Chandimal, Kusal Mendis also, and also Angelo Matthews. They were not in the side for the last 1.5 years. Consistently they were not in the side, but they also performed rather better than the young players and all. I think they also got the confidence they needed because Dinesh Chandimal also told in his in the commentary that I think he got the old Chandi back. So I think not just the young players' confidence but also the senior players as well.
Yeah, now young players, now we saw Vijay Vyas Khan getting experience and how to ball the googly, I think, from Imran Tahir and Mantu Hasarang as well. So the second question, as we talk about young players, let's speak about Janit Liyanage, the emerging star of the LPL Season 2. What do you think, Revindu? Will Janit Liyanage be able to join the Sri Lankan national team for the Zimbabwe tour?
Well, I don't think that he will get a chance in the Zimbabwe tour because the Zimbabwe tour is not is in less than 2 weeks ahead. But I think definitely he will have a really bright future in the Sri Lankan national team somewhere in the next couple of years or else in the next 5 years.
And Lidhara, what do you think for Janit Liyanage?
Well, I agree with what Revindu said. Janit, of course, has the talent to achieve big, but we have to be very mindful when when dealing with him. We have to give him some time to adjust to the system because he's newly to the international cricket. So it will take him some time to adjust to the conditions, and if we be mindful of that, he'll turn out to be a match winner for Sri Lanka.
So let's speak about the LPL final. It was a really thrilling game. Lithra, what do you think now? Final, Avishka Fernando played well for Jaffna, and Danushka Guntilaka gave a proper and a fast power play. Like he scored at 53 runs of just 21 balls. What do you think? What made Gold Gladiators lose the final?
Well, first of all, I would say Danushka's innings was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it was super class.
Yeah, scoring 53 runs just off 23 balls in a final with the pressure of the final, it's some talent, So, and I think till the 15th over, they did pretty well. Till the 10th over, I think they were with the net run rate, but I think some unnecessary things happened because batsmen played unnecessary shots. So that's why I think wickets fell between 2 to 3 overs. So that's why they lost the match.
Ravindra, what do you think? There were 2 runouts. How did this affect?
Well, before coming to runouts, I think the LPL final, more than 20,000 spectators, I think that's a tremendous victory to Sri Lanka cricket as well. because we haven't seen that much of a crowd to an international to a cricket match. I think in the last couple of years in Sri Lanka, I think that is also one thing which I believe that although Jaffna won the game, Gaul could have won because of the crowd support as well. Because the majority of the crowd should have been from Gaul, because it is very much easy to travel to Surya. Talking about the match, I think Jaffna Kings had a perfect plan, Tisara Pereira's plan, because they had the winning mindset, because they were the champions of the first LPL as well. So they inherently gets the winning mindset, and I think they really had the coaches that they needed. Tilina Kandambi, a superb coach. He has all Tilina Kandambi also. During his school time also, he is a great player, and also he has been very much victorious in coaching. I think that is why, with all his experience and the exposure that Jaffna Kings won, this tournament, because they were the favorites from the beginning. Right from the beginning, Jaffna Kings were the favorites.
You're currently tuning with Kelisara Cofee With Teens. Hope you're enjoying, and we will move on for the next question. Let's take a look at Kusal Mendes. Kusal Mendes, after suspension of 6 months, and has become the leading run scorer of the LPL Season 2, and has been a full package with keeping as well. He kept well and batted well. So Ravindra, what do you think of his form?
Well, I think he learned from his mistakes. Once again, it was a disciplinary action which took him out of the team, and I think he had learned well and he had practiced well. I think this all came out in the LPL, and the LPL was this platform that he used to show the world and to show Sri Lanka cricket and his fans that he is well in order and that he can really get the game going.
So Alithira, what do you think of Kusal Mendes' comeback?
Well, I think he has done tremendously well, because to come back from a 6 months ban without playing cricket, to have scored that well, he definitely has talent. And last couple of years we saw a lot of people saying many things about him, but I think he replied in the best way. He scored well, he performed well, and showed the world that he has the ability to play cricket in the international level.
Let's keep aside Kusal Mendes and let's speak about Wanid Wasaranga. Wanid Wasaranga got injured in the final match. Ravindra, what do you think? Should he be rested in the Zimbabwe tour? Because he has played consistency cricket from the T10 to the LPL, and less than 2 weeks for the Zimbabwe tour. Should he be rested?
Well, I think yes, he will need a rest. He will need some kind of a rest, because I personally had the feeling that Wanidu Hasaranga should have been rested during the LPL as well. One thing I think that can be groomed with it, because Wanidu Hasaranga did not get into his earlier form during the LPL, because we saw other players like Sikuge Prasanna and Mahesh Teekshana coming out and actually performing rather better than Wanidu Hasaranga. But I'm not saying that Wanidu Hasaranga is bad, but Wanidu Hasaranga should have rested, because he needs to think about his health as well, because we need his full potential to the national team, I think, in the future. And I think during the Zimbabwe tournament, it will be good if he rests, because then we can actually try someone new, or else we can give another spinner or else another player an opportunity to play.
Let's speak about Dimut Karunaratne. Dimut Karunaratne was not in the LPL, but he said that if I have got a chance to play the LPL, I would have definitely played. Lithra, what do you think? Does Dimut Karunaratne have the ability to play T20 cricket?
Well, he is not a attacking batsman by nature, but he must have got a chance to play in the LPL, because we have seen Chiteswar Pujara from India playing IPL. Pujara is more of a test player, but he played well in the IPL. So likewise, I think Dimut also has the ability to play in LPL. So it's a domestic league, so it's not about like winning or losing. So I think he must have got a chance to play in the LPL.
Let's speak about Dinesh Chandimal. Now, Ravindu, I spoke about Dinesh Chandimal in the previous question. But Dinesh Chandimal has come to his original form, where he joined the national team with that power hitting, the switch hit that he played, that was awesome. And so let's speak about him as well. Dinesh Chandimal has been in brilliant form, but Kusal Janit hasn't been. Dinesh Chandimal has been also keeping as well. So Ravindu, should Dinesh Chandimal replace Kusal Janit in the matches ahead?
I think yes. I think up to a certain extent, yes. Because Dinesh Chandimal also proudly said, "Old Chandi is back." And also we saw Kusal Janit Pereira struggling not just in LPL but also during the last couple of international games that he faced. I think Dinesh Chandimal should be given a chance because if you go back in time to 2012 and 2014, that era where Dinesh Chandimal blossomed, now he is playing like that. I think now is the time to actually get Dinesh Chandimal into the side because he also mentioned, and also when we take history once again, Kumar Sangakkara and Mahela Jayawardene, they also got into their best form during during the 30s. I think Dinesh Chandimal once again should be given a chance and be taken into the side. I think he will be a better replacement for Kusal Janit Pereira.
Now, Litra, I would ask you a different question. Now, Dinesh Chandimal, Angelo Matthews was not picked up in the player draft, but actually they only performed for Colombo Stars. What do you think of this?
Well, I think Chandimal and Matthews, they are by nature attacking players. They couldn't find their natural form couple of months ago, but now I think they are on the right track. They have been performing consistently throughout the season, and if they continue to do so, I think their bright days are ahead for the Sri Lankan cricket.
Yes, adding on to Lithir, I think Angelo Matthews was very much into surgeries and all due to his injuries. So I think if he can get down his injuries and if he focuses on his health right now. So I think Angelo Matthews and Dinesh Chandimal they have showed their class. If you remember the century of Dinesh Chandimal at Lords, it was Matthews who helped him, and both of them had shown concerns about joining into the national team once again. I think they both should be given a chance, not just one chance. I think another big chance, I think a whole series maybe, to get them consistently into the team. And also I think we need to thank Softlogic Stars, the Colombo Stars as well, for picking them.
The next question is, now we saw Akila Dhananjaya, Lakshan Sandakan, Kevin Koptigoda, Kamil Mishara. Now Kamil Mishara scored a 96 run in the Pakistan A series, but they wasn't picked up to any match. They didn't play matches. What do you think, Lithraya?
Well,
they could have actually get a chance.
You're absolutely right, because Kamil Mishara, he has been in the system for quite a while. He understands the game well, and he's a attacking middle order, top order batsman. So I think in a domestic league like LPL, Kamil Mishara should have got at least one game or two to showcase his talent.
So this is what we think as we are watching matches as fans. Rindoya, what do you think? Could they have been picked or not?
Well, see, it all depends on time and the situation once again. We never know the situation inside the dressing room and also the team management. It's simply depending on what they think and the situation and also how they perform. See, even a player played 100 runs in the previous game, he could lose a chance in the next match. So that simply depends on time and the situation. And also, see, there were only 5 teams in LPL and a maximum of 55 players only can play throughout the series rather. So I think there were around 100 players picked into teams, but that's the nature of the game. That's the nature of cricket. Like even in the national games, there are around 15 players going into a series, but only 11 play. So this is what happens. But I think being a cricketer, what values the most is that you will one day get to represent your country. That might not come right now, especially for Kamil Mishara, just 20 years old, who's my age. So see, time will be coming. See, Sangha started playing for 22. Ranganahera actually came into form during his last stage of cricket. He had to wait until Muralidharan retired to be the spinner of the team. So I think they have time ahead in the future.
Cricket is an unexpected game. Now, we saw in 1996 World Cup, Sana Jayasuriya and Romesh Kalwitharana playing consistently in the Sri Lankan team. But they were performing as well. They were real performance and they were blasting the ball. Actually, it's not the same. Like, we can't have it consistently for every match. We can't say you have to play 100 and you have to play 50. So it's a depending. Cricket is an unexpected game. Hope you're enjoying the show with Kelisara Coffee with Teens. So now let's speak about the LPL overall season 2. Hats off to Mr. Namal Rajapaksa, Sports Minister of Sri Lanka, and President of Sri Lanka Cricket, Mr. Sami Silva, Chief Executive Officer of Sri Lanka Cricket, Mr. Ashley De Silva, and the Tournament Director, Mr. Ravin Vikramaratne, for holding this great event of the LPL. So, Ravindra, what do you think of this tournament and what do you think of this management?
Well, I think this was what the fans needed mostly. Sri Lanka was stuck in COVID-19, and also this LPL was previously said that we can't do, that LPL was not given a chance to be held. But also they took the responsibilities, the health service took the responsibilities, and the cricket management, as you mentioned, with the Honorable Minister. I think they all provided the platform to the players, and also with new sponsorships. We should also thank the new companies and sponsors who joined with the tournament. I think LPL was an overall success during this COVID-19 pandemic situation.
Yeah, Nidra, what do you think of this overall season 2?
Well, I think we would like to thank health authorities, high officials of Sri Lanka cricket, and as well as ground staff. If not for the ground staff, I do not think LPL would have been possible. So, the ground staff did an amazing job to clearing the grounds off and to to take the covers off. That was really well done. So, if not for them, we do not think. I do not think LPL would have been possible.
Actually, LPL was viewed by around the world and it gave a message to the world that a country like Sri Lanka can hold a great event such as an LPL. Ravindra, what do you think of this great?
Well, yeah. So LPL, I think many views all across the globe, Pakistani fans, Indian fans, Bangladeshi fans, and not just to them, the West Indies, and also I think now in the United States as well, LPL is getting famous and famous. I think they also had intentions and they might also had watched with also the South Africans and all. I think LPL provided, and also what the best thing I see about LPL is that LPL challenged the challenge. The challenge was COVID-19 and that there were no events. So LPL took the challenge, the management took the challenge, and they did a wonderful job. I think once again, hats off to them.
Yeah, LPL was held with spectators. Actually, over 9,000 spectators for each game. It was really fantastic. And again, hats off to everyone who have contributed to make LPL a success. So, in few days, Mahela will be consulting the Sri Lanka national team. But there is a hole for the head coach still for the national team. Ravindra, what do you think? Now we have the Zimbabwe tour in just less than 2 weeks. How can Sri Lanka cricket fix this problem?
Well, I think this should be a decision taken after thinking for a long-term decision, long-term solution rather. And I think Mahela's involvement, Mahela Jayawardene's involvement in the national team, we saw in the World Cup as well. We saw in the T20 World Cup his commitment in the World Cup made it sure that Sri Lanka won those games. And also Sri Lanka had a potential and boost in their spirits as well. I think Mahela is coming into the team in a consultancy period is actually something great, and I think we can see many results, many good results coming into the Sri Lankan team. I think the Zimbabwe tour might be a platform to show this, might not be as well because Zimbabwe is also a team which is up and coming, and also they have showed very much potential during the last few years. So it's all a win-win situation for both, but Mahela will certainly make a change.
Solitra, what do you think of the Zimbabwe tournament?
Well, I think Sri Lanka has got a big chance to win it. If they can't even win it, we can just give it a try. because Sri Lankan team has got the potential and the talent to do it, and hopefully we'll be able to win it as well.
And also, adding on to Lithira, it's our home condition. So matches being played in Pallekele and all in Sri Lanka somehow. So we have the potential and victory in that hand as well.
So now let's speak about Roshan Mahanama. Roshan Mahanama said that if Sri Lanka cricket speaks to me, that I will recommend and I will see to be the head coach of Sri Lanka cricket. And he said something special, that if I be the head coach of Sri Lanka cricket, we all should stay in one platform. The sports ministry, the cricket board, and the Sri Lankan cricket team, and I as the coaching staff, we should stay in one platform. Ravindu, what do you think of Roshan Mahanama?
Well, I think what he said is what should be done right now. Because during the past couple of years, political instability and political intervention into cricket somewhat ruined the sport. Because in the 1990s, we had made very much interest of politics in cricket, which began the decaying of sports. I think many players somewhat retired because of political intervention. I think having all these platforms in one place, having all these parties in one place rather, will actually develop the team. And I think Roshan Mahanama, if he is given the chance, is a capable candidate.
The thing Roshan Mahanama is saying now can be true, and I think he need to carry out this in the future as well if he becomes the Sri Lankan head coach. But in the past, Roshan Mahanama, when he was retiring, he wrote a book saying sad retirement. That means there had been some problems in the past when he's retiring as well. Political problems, I mean. So, Lithira, what do you think? What do you think of Roshan Mahanama?
Well, if we have to build a match-winning team, we have to lay the foundation now itself. Because if we do so, within another couple or more years, we'll be able to build a match-winning team. So for that, Mahel Jayawardena is now the consultant coach, and if Roshan Mahanama joined him, that duo would do amazing stuff for the Sri Lankan cricket.
And also I think adding on to Lithira, both are Sri Lankans, and also it's the Sri Lankan team here. So both, they can actually speak in Sinhala and do the game. If we get a coach from another nation, another nationality, so they would be speaking from English.
Yeah, because some of the Sri Lankans are reluctant to speak in English.
Yeah, definitely. So I think having Roshan Mahanama with Mahela Jayawardena together, they are both close to home, close to Sri Lanka, and it will be simply great for the players. They understand our system, they understand our culture. So I think this is the best duo to make Sri Lanka victorious.
Hopefully Roshan Mahanama can be the coach of Sri Lanka, and we hope to do so. And let's see about the Under-19 Asia Cup. It's currently being held in UAE. And Sri Lanka won their first match against Kuwait, and Pawan Pathiraju became the man of the match. So, Ravindu, what do you think about the future of Sri Lanka cricket?
Well, I think Sri Lanka cricket is in safe hands, but also school cricket needs to come back. We only saw 2 or 3 big matches being held this year, for the year 2021. I think next year would be a safe year for school cricket to restart and rebuild as well. So I think with school cricket coming in next year, Sri Lanka cricket is in safe hands.
So, as Ravindu said, to start school cricket back, we need the encouragement of parents as well as coaches and teachers of schools as well. So, Lithira, what do you think? How can Sri Lanka can rebuild this school cricket? Because Sri Lanka is well known as the best school cricket in this world. So, how do you think, Lithira? Okay.
Well, if we are to improve the school cricket, we have to encourage teachers, parents, the principals of the schools to provide the cricketers with the necessary equipments and necessary facilities for them to carry out their trainings.
Ravindu, anything to add?
Well, the school big match is what makes cricket alive in Sri Lanka, and also the best school cricket, the best platform where new players come in the whole world has been classified as the Sri Lanka's cricket, because it comes from school, then to the zone, then to the province, and then to the national team. But there was a time where school players directly came to the national team. I think that time is not that far with new platforms and new encouragements into the school cricket system.
We hope that it will happen as well and as prosperous as Rimito has said. Today we were talking about the LPL and the future of Sri Lanka cricket. So I will take this moment to thank Rimito Perra and Litera Perra who joined with us to this chat. Wishing you all a happy and a prosperous new year. I'm Vidra Karnaratna for Kelisara Sports.